What's up, guys? Mooney. Today we're going to talk about how you can be a better pilot at a fly-in and a better ambassador to the sport of paramotoring. So as we all know, a lot of people attend fly-ins. You have the pilots who show up, of course, and a lot of times those pilots end up being spectators because they're there. Let's face it, guys, we don't really go to fly-ins to fly. We go there because it's a fun thing to do with the people that we know and the people that we have this connection with because we fly. It's like motorcycle rallies. Generally, they don't go there to ride their bikes around. They go there, park their bikes, hang out, and talk bikes. So that's kind of what we do with paramotors. We just go and we hang out. So, and a cool draw to that is there's a lot of people in the community that don't know what this is or have never seen this. So they want to come out and they want to see what it's about. And when we have that culmination of things happening, we want to make sure that we're representing this sport in a good fashion so that people that are coming in that do see the sport either want to start doing it or they just like the idea of it. And there's a couple of reasons behind that. One, if they see it, they like it, and they want to do it, well, then we just added more people to our sport, and it's an amazing thing that they can have access to now. And another thing is, even if these people will never go flying, some people forget this, even if these people will never, ever put on a motor or ever get up in the air, maybe because it's just they don't want to, but they see that the sport is really neat, and then you go to a flying site where somebody who's seen these and they maybe stopped at a fly-in or they know somebody else who flies, they already put those neurons together in their brain that this is an awesome thing and it's safe, as you can see at the fly-ins sometimes, and people are able to look at it in a good light. So just having those people that come in that we're able to showcase the sport to and showing them that this is an accessible thing, and yeah, we take off from our backyards, we take off from the soccer fields. We want to show them that this is a cool thing to do, but also that we're also going to respect their land or their privacy, without flying over their home or doing something that we should not be doing. Another thing that we want to make sure at these fly-ins is that we're taking care of the area that we're at. At Hodges Field, if you were to throw down a cigarette butt and Mac Hodges saw you, he will walk over, kick you out, no questions asked. There is no second chance there. It's take care of the place and it'll take care of you. So we all need to remember that when it comes to a fly-in, taking care of the place, having a good representation. If your buddy's having a beer and then says, hey, I'm going to go fly, probably not a good idea. Probably want to, step on him a little bit and say, hey, bad idea, bad representation. And honestly, it's just unsafe. So why even bother? Another thing is that the etiquette at the fly-ins, if we're at a fly-in and we're all hanging out and your buddy is going to go take off, or somebody you don't even know, they're just taking off near you because that's where they're taking off, and you see them fail a launch, right? Rather than sitting there, sitting on this chair, relaxing, and you're talking to somebody who showed up at the fly-in and just sitting there talking, and he's like, oh man, that guy's struggling. Well, yeah, we all have those moments. And you see him struggling, and instead of saying, yeah, that sucks, go out there and help the guy, because it shows that community involved. And I'm not saying this because I don't see people doing it. I do see people doing it. But imagine if we had every single person at a fly-in either getting ready to fly, helping people get into the air, or flying. It's a giant community of people helping and working with each other. And a lot of people kind of lose track of that. They see a guy fail a launch and there's 10 dudes standing there around a crowd going, oh man, I wonder if this is going to be the 10th failed launch. And then that guy's sweating, he's pissed off, and he just wants to get into the air. So helping somebody like that and being able to reach out into our own community is kind of what we built this community on anyway, was helping each other and being there for each other and guiding each other. So why can't we be there now? So to me, that's a really important thing. When you're at a fly-in, make sure you help the guy next to you. If he needs an exhaust spring, if he needs whatever it is, a glider patch to patch up his glider that he might have got a piece of prop through or a stick through, whatever. We always want to be there for each other when we're at a fly-in, because it brings us all closer together. And honestly, you can make a lot of friends doing that. And, obviously we're not looking for anything in return just to help somebody, but we just want to be able to be there to make a difference and to know that that guy got off the ground safe. Or sometimes we have to be the person that says, hey man, just take a break for 5-10 minutes. Here's a bottle of water and just relax. I'll lay out your glider for you. Just take a seat and relax. and clear your head, and we're going to go again. You know, some people need that. So I think that's a really important thing when it comes to a fly-in and things that we can do to help. Another thing that we can do as pilots at fly-ins is to fly normally, but also don't impede on others. So what I mean by that is there's been a lot of fly-ins where, you know, we have campers lined up, which is pretty much every fly-in that we go to, and they specifically say, please don't fly over the campers. Okay, totally get that, totally understand. It's not that hard to not fly over the campers. I mean, it's not like you can't see them. So not flying over those is just a simple request that was made because I know how angry I would be if somebody's flying over my camper at 6 in the morning, if I don't want to get up that morning or I don't feel well. Or even worse, somebody's flying around my stuff and they were to hit it or make a mistake. And I've seen this happen. I've been there when it has happened and somebody hit something that was ours. You know, it happens, but it can all be avoided. So just following these simple rules, you know, please take off over here, please land over here. Don't fly over this and don't fly over that, but you can go over there all you want and don't bug the neighbor's cows. Whatever the case is, these simple rules, if we follow them, we'll be able to keep these sites for a long, long time. And one of the last things, guys, when you're out of fly-in, just make sure we're respectful of everybody. That kind of wraps everything up, wraps everything together. If we're respectful to everybody else, the rules that have been requested, and everything that's going on in a fly-in, there's a ton that goes on from food, from the people that organized it. There's a lot of effort that goes into one of these. Just because people show up and enjoy it, you know, that's all they get. They get there, they enjoy it, and they leave. They don't see what happens in the background for these people hosting these events, setting up for the events, getting the permits, all this kind of stuff. It's all this background stuff that nobody generally understands just because they've never had to do it. So just keep that in mind when you guys are flying and there's all these people out there working their butts off, the guys, you know, marshaling for people to go flying and, you know, go, stay, etc. You know, those guys are giving up their morning of flying or their evening or their whole weekend or the week before that to set up for everybody, and they're doing this just out of, you know, to help the community. So I think it's just fair enough that we can do the same and provide for our community.